In this video, we're going to show some of the post-processing tools that are available for manipulating the documents after you've created them to make your editing a little easier for some custom situations. So we're going to illustrate this using our real estate number 8 design theme. The design theme doesn't matter. We have hundreds and hundreds of design themes. So we're going to add a new project. We're going to build a graphic design theme. This demo is going to show a feature for how to change the graphic chapter headers to text, and then change the font type, and then adjust the logo chapter headers, all using the post-processing tools. And we're going to illustrate this using the real estate occupancy proposal example. Now, again, it doesn't matter what proposal you're creating. We're just using this for illustration purposes. So it can be any design theme, any list of chapters, any document you're creating. So we're just going to show at the start how a stock document's created, and then we'll show the post-processing tools to manipulate that document. So once we've generated our stock document, then we will show how the tools work. Okay, so our document's ready to start working on. So we'll show what the stock documents in a graphic design theme look like that we're going to be modifying. So you'll see all of these chapter headers. If I select them, these are just graphics. So the actual Word project here is actually part of the graphics. It's not editable text. Same thing with every chapter header. Table of contents, the logo, this is one combined graphic. Now the reason we create all of our design themes like this is because we use custom fonts for the chapter headers to work with the design theme, and not everybody has these fonts on their computers. If you want to use editable text, you actually have to have the font type actually installed as a font type on your computer. And in order for you to have the exact font types you want to use in our design themes, you would actually have to purchase these font types separately, install them on your computer, make sure you get the exact correct font type that's used in the Word documents, and so on. So it's very, very difficult for anybody to have the proper setup to get the nice design graphic headers with the design theme that we're shooting for. Now with the body text, we use fonts that everybody has on their computer already, which are very standard, general purpose across the board fonts like Arial, Times New Roman, and so on. So you can change all these fonts through Word's font types to any fonts you have on your computer. So what we're going to illustrate in this video is how to make an editable text version of these headers, because sometimes people do want to make text edits to some of our chapter headers to customize them a bit, or to create completely new chapters that we don't have templates for. And to do that, we have to split the logo and the text up into two parts, into an actual logo by itself and actual text. There are a couple ways to do this. You can do this ahead of time. There's an option in the document styles section where you can tell the wizard to generate the document using text instead of graphics, and it will do all this work ahead of time. Or once the document's been generated, say you decide, oh, I need to change a graphic header, or I want to change it to a different font type, it's a lot more efficient to have the software do it, especially if you have a lot of chapter headers, because you don't want to have to manually do this for every single one. It takes a little different work to set up the table of contents to work with a text version of the headers versus graphics. So these tools will do all of this work for you. So you'll see over in your editing screen, all these tabs, there's a document processing tab. Now we're running the Expert Edition. We have all the tools available. In the basic novice edition, you're only going to have a handful of tools, and this operation we're showing you will be available in the novice edition as well. So we'll show you how to change these into editable text. So we'll close the document, and we're going to select the Convert Graphic Headers to Text tool. And we'll just show one tool at a time. You can actually combine multiple tools at the same time. But when we convert the graphic headers to text, the position of the logos is going to change a bit in relation to the text. So you'll want to run two tools. After this one, we'll do a reposition, and we'll show you the sequence to do this. So click the Convert Graphic Headers to Text first, and leave the backup options checked. It's going to make a backup copy of your document. And then click the document you want to process. Click Process Documents. And just skip this for now, because you don't know the exact repositioning that you're going to want. Now the wizard's told us it's replaced all 14 chapter headers. And we'll open the document. So we have to go over to the Project Documents tab, click the Open button, and you'll see it is now split up into the logo and editable text. And we default to the Arial black text. So you'll see it's not quite the same design as before, but this uses a font type that everyone has on their computer. So we'll show in another tool how to change back to a different font type. And if you scroll down, you can see this is now editable text. Every chapter header is editable text, but you'll see the logo is a little offset, doesn't look quite right. So what we're going to do is click with your mouse. We'll drag it up to see where we want it positioned. Just line it up just right. Okay, so that's about where it was before. So now we can right click, click Size and Position, and we'll see it's 0.9 inches below the top of the page. So we're just going to copy that or write it down. Just remember 0.9 inches. And we'll close the document without saving it. Actually, it doesn't really matter if you save it or not. Now we'll go back to the document processing, and we're going to click a different tool. Reposition Chapter Header Logos. We already have a backup, so we're not going to back it up again. And now, distance from top, 0.9 inches. So this tool is now going to run through all 14 chapter headers. It's going to reposition all 14 to be that exact distance. Saves us a bunch of time. So now if we scroll down, every chapter header logo is lined up perfectly with the text. That's all there is to it. Now we have editable text versions of every chapter header. Now for the title page one, you'll have to manually drag this to reposition it. Since this is only one graphic, not a big deal. There we go. But what if we want to change the font type now? So now you can change these font type headers to any font that's installed on your computer. Now this design theme used the font type Proxima Nova semi-bold. So you would have to, if you want to exactly match our design theme with text, you have to go and find and download and install the Proxima Nova semi-bold font type onto your computer. Now some font types you can get as free download, some you have to pay a license fee for, something $30, $60, $70. That's one of the reasons we don't include font types, is because we don't have the rights to bundle different font types into the package and give them to you. Or if we did, that could almost double in some cases the cost of our proposal packs for something that very few people would ever do. There's a couple different ways we can change the font types. We can do it manually, or we can do it through another tool. Now, if we're going to do it manually, we're going to want to change multiple word styles. There's 3 different word styles at least that we have to change. We have to change the Proposals Get page header font type. We have to change the faux page header type, and then the word style for the body pages. But the tool will do all of this for you. So we'll go back to the document processing tools. We'll just click Change Font Styles. Because this tool will apply this font type to every related word style that we use. So we're not going to change the body page type. Say if you wanted to change the Times New Roman of the body text, you can just pick this and change it to anything else you have on your computer. We're just going to change the chapter headers. Now if I pick Proxima Nova A semi-bold, we'll get back to exactly the same design theme that we had before in the graphic chapter headers. What if you wanted to set it to a font type that we use for your company logo or your website? You can change it to that type of font type, which will help match the documents to the rest of your material. So I'm just going to pick Proxima Nova A semi-bold. Click OK. Batch process is complete. Now, it's possible we might have to readjust the chapter headers if we change the font type. So we'll see here real quick. And you'll see now, yep. So now we're using Proxima A. We'll just readjust this a little bit. So you see we're now back to a text version that exactly matches the original design theme that was in graphics. And yes, we do have to readjust the logo again. So we'll just do that again real quick. That looks like it lines up. Check the size and position. So instead of 0.9, we're going to go 0.84. Go back to the tool, reposition chapter header logos, and now we'll set everything to 0.84 inches. Open the document again. And now every chapter header is lined up again with editable text versions of every chapter header. So this is one of the things you can do with the post-processing tools, is if you have to make a whole bunch of manual changes that can be a little tedious, time-consuming, you can do those through the document processing tools. But this is one of the more common situations where you need to create editable text versions of the chapter headers. Now this also gives you the ability to change these chapter header logos that are stock logos to your own logo. Now you could right-click, change picture from a file, go browse to a file on your hard drive that has your logo that's in the similar size, and you can brand the document better to your logo. Now, if you're using the Expert Edition and you set up the custom branding where you have your company logo in the My Graphics folder, that will trigger the wizard to automatically do this operation while the document's first being generated. So that's another option for custom branding, is to use the Professional Edition, set up your own logo in the My Graphics folder and let the wizard swap out all of these stock graphics, like this footer, the background watermark, the bullet point, chapter header logos, the title page logos, and the back page logos. So the Expert Edition makes it much easier to do a complete branding and change out all these chapter headers. So that is how you do editable text versions post-processing with the Proposal Pack Wizard. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and click subscribe to keep up on the latest proposal writing tips with Proposal Kit.